This has happened twice. This happened twice this year, where somebody gives me an ID,
The pass back?
And you know the person.
and they give me the ID, and I know this person. We've had conversations. Bro, why are you gonna give somebody an ID to get into the club that you talk to me all the time? I know this person. This ain't you. Goodbye.
And then once you tell them how, you just see the shoulders go.
Oh, that? I had a long conversation with one of these dudes that did it. I was like, don't you ever do that again.
Because I was 86.
Don't you, like, we cool? Don't you ever do that again. I know that's your family. Don't ever do it again. The other girl, she ain't never been back. She embarrassed herself that night, though, because she was messed up.
People don't remember that their party days and all this stuff. There's still people that are recording all this stuff. The people that see all this stuff that aren't drunk as you, that aren't having a good time, that are at work, and they are trying to do their job. So, I mean, I think you would think that if someone's seen you in your bad moments, you'd be a little bit nicer to them the next time you saw them. But, I mean, that's not conventional wisdom.
There's some people that worked up a normal job that I've seen that I've had to escort out. I'm like, I just make jokes like, no more tequila. Because you say you didn't drink it. So next time it comes, like, hey, no tequila tonight, remember?
Sorry, buddy.
Even if I cross paths with them, like in like another building, like it's like, hey, I had to kick you out. And you said no more tequila. So
That's the other side of getting shout out. You know, people are like, oh yeah, I was there, man, I had a great time. But when they get kicked out, they don't be saying nothing to you. They be like, oh, see you in the streets, we looking down.
Like, hey man, did I really act the fool that night? I was like, you know what? We'll get past it. Next time, just don't do it again.
Just do better.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the ID Please podcast. It's your boy Mac, aka Mac Daddy, your second favorite security guard. Always here with my
This
host.
is JP, Mr. Johnny. We got a great host this episode, our boy Big Don. How you doing?
Chilling. You're in the place to be. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate you. Now, this is a security podcast, but you're not just, you've done security before. What are you doing these days, though?
These days, I'm a bartender primarily, but I have, to get to this place, I had to pay my dues. And when I was paying my dues, it was about 6 or 7 years of working security at different places.
Okay.
So I worked for like 6 to 8 years of security.
So you kind of have like a experience for dealing with security as a coworker, plus being a security, kind of doing the whole nightlife situation.
Yeah, I try not to like talk shit about things I don't know about. So like, you guys have been really gracious with like taking help, you know, and the only thing I'm trying to do is help. There's no egos. So I think it's better served like having to do something. I do have a background. I do martial arts. So like, I've been around that world for a while.
Okay. So you started your security journey back on the East Coast, correct?
Correct.
So, kind of tell us about, the East Coast, life of being a security guard.
I think it's like generationally. I think we like third generation from when I started. It feels like when I started on the East Coast, I did most of my work in Virginia, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, a little bit of work at Portsmouth, a couple places like that. Shout out Seven Cities. 2 up, 2 down. But it was also like real shit happening. Like it's a tourist town, so it's like in the summertime it gets live and tourists come in, and a lot of times you have to defend your territory for people trying to be disrespectful. So there's another layer to that also too. But yeah, I spent a lot of years down at the ocean fronts, bounced at some concert venues. I worked at mostly like beach bars, a couple strip clubs. But yeah, I ran the gambit for that amount of time. Had a good crew. Yeah. It was dope, bro.
So what's the difference between working a bar and a strip club? Is there a big difference?
Oh, man. It's, I feel like a lot of stuff is like all ego management. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that like the ego goes up at a strip club versus a regular club. I think that, and it needs to be negotiated like differently, because the strip club I worked at was kind of like, or a go-go club, whatever you want to call it. It was kind of like in a smaller town, but also like, you got to put them joints off the beaten path, So the element that's in there kind of can get a little shady, so you don't know what they're capable of too.
And then that's like you say, it's like you ever heard what Cam Newton said? He's like, I go there to compete with other men throwing more money. Who could throw more money? I was like, so you get that ego of men, like, I got more money than this dude. Oh, why you throwing more money? And then they get into it. It's like, hey man, what?
But then it spills over. It's like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm spending all this money. I'm like, well, money doesn't get you everything.
Yes,
I think that's a beautiful point, because even in where we work, SB2, you see it, because there's the average person that's coming in just to the bar, just hanging out, but then the people that kind of get that bottle service table, there is that ego where they're like, well, I'm spending this, I bought this many bottles, I did this, but it don't really, disqualify you from the rules that you got to play. You know, you might get a little leeway, but you always try to floss this. I did this, I did that. And now all of a sudden you think you run the place. You think you own us just because you bought these bottles, which that is never the case.
You know, a line I hate. I don't know if you guys hate it. Well, I got bottle service.
I'm like, thank you very much.
Nothing. You still got to play the same rules as everybody that pays regularly.
And yeah,
like, I don't care if you got bottle service. You got 3 bottles of 4. You are not jumping on my furniture. You're not vaping in your section. You're not doing cocaine in the bathroom.
You're not drinking outside. You're not drinking a bottle outside the club. Right? Like,
you're not. Like, oh.
And they be treating that shit like a penalty box too, because they be like, "Oh, my friend just went outside for a little while, bro. Y'all kicked him out. Can he come back in? Like, isn't that? Talk to me. It's been 5 minutes, bro. Like, let him come back in, bro.
Hey, bro, money. Come on, man. I'm buying bottles. So you still got to act right, though.
You bought 2 bottles, sir. Firstly,
and you bought 2 bottles for 20 heads, and it's supposed to be 5 per head. So let's do the math. Let's do that. People don't know how to do math nowadays because people lack common sense and lack basic morals and how to respect a certain spot you go to. Mm-hmm. People come out nowadays and they want to be like mouthy. You're a bartender now, right? You're on the bartending side, so we hear it like, hey, bartender, don't be snapping. You'll get to you when you get to you. There's a way to get to work things. Like, you have to have patience. We're working. We're trying to get to you guys. We're trying to fulfill what we want you to have a great time too. Yeah. But you need to be respectful to us.
I don't think they believe that, man. I think they really, we really like bartenders, security, everything that you guys get at the door, we get it at the bar. It's really the same shit, twisted a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? But it's the same level of like, hey man, I'm expecting this. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not meeting your expectations right now. But there's other people expecting things too. Like, if you just chill, we'll get you positive,
you get that person that comes like, well, let me talk to your manager.
Sure, bro.
That person's an asshole. And then the manager goes, well, he's just following what we tell him to do. Or we're like, all right, this is what he's trying to do, his best ability to his job or to what he's capable of. We're a little busy right now. Sorry, I can't cater to your personal needs.
But they needed that extra step just to feel okay about the interaction. Okay. That's the crazy part.
My bad. Oh, now it's okay because my manager said it's okay. So if somebody higher than me said it, I'm going to tell you the same. You're wasting my manager's time. I'm going to tell you that. So
every single time.
He's going to get mad at me for calling him over here.
As soon as we leave.
So all your security experience, was that on the East Coast, or did you do some of that out here as well?
I did a little bit of work out here too. I worked at a couple of places during COVID. It just was the move.
Okay.
But I tried to and obviously hats off, no disrespect whatsoever. I just don't have the bandwidth for the security anymore, man. Like, I really I just don't want to see anybody in my squad go down. So of course I'm always down to help and de-escalate. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no point in having a third person come in and try to hype shit up again, and then that fucks up your job. So I'm always looking to de-escalate, but as far as doing it on a regular basis, man, people are just too disrespectful, and they're too quick to not realize there's real consequences out here. When I was working security full time back home, there was 2 sets of stairs, and we're in a small town. So if you fuck up, you can go down the front stairs or you can go down the back stairs. The back stairs were all metal, and they're a very long way down. And the front stairs had 2 stops, so you had to you could catch your breath. Then you can get thrown down the first set. You can gather yourself a little bit, and if you were super cool, we'd let you walk down the rest. But if you're a dick, you got to throw down twice. You got to throw it into the wall.
Which one sounds worse?
Trust me, the metal stairs were worse. The metal stairs were worse.
That was a steep fall.
And at the bottom of the metal stairs, there was shore patrol waiting or cops at the bottom of the stairs, and they go right to jail.
They already knew what the back stairs
Parked
were.
ready, bro. So I mean, it's kind of one of those things. It's it's a little bit more intense, or at least when I was doing it, it could be.
So without giving too information, if you don't want to give out the information, what's one of the more crazier experiences as a security guard you kind of had to deal with?
Oh man, I can't it's hard. It's not my story. I don't want to be a stolen valor dude, but it happened at the bar I worked with the people. This guy, we used to work with a bartender, and he was notorious for getting on the microphone and being super fly. This is a college. It's college beach town, summertime. Everybody's losing their mind. So he gets on the mic and he's talking to the girls and he's doing his thing, having fun. And we used to always have trouble with this dude because he just talk shit, get drunk, and then just walk off. Because he was I'm a fucking bartender, bro. Look at me. So this one night, again, it was with my buddy. He a black dude came up to him, one of the guys from New York, always comes down from New York, because they don't run shit in New York, so they come down and they talk shit in a small town. So this guy talking shit to them, he's like, hey man, he's like, give me this drink. He's like, nah, fuck you. I'm partying. Ha. I was about to partying. He's like, fuck you, man. He's like, no, fuck you. Don't get this dude no pussy. Like going in on this dude. He was hammered.
Don't give him no play.
Don't give
no
him
play.
nothing. And he's like, oh, it's like that. He's like, yeah. He's like, fuck you, man. I'm gonna kill you when you walk outside. He's like, oh, word? Now, like, I don't know if it was the angles of things, but my homie was, he was a good 6'2". And he was probably about a good 215. He wasn't a small dude. He's like, word. He walked out from behind the bar, and the guy squared up on him, and he hit him with an elbow, knocked out his fronts.
Oh.
And told us to throw him down the back stairs.
He said, pick him up and throw him back. Those metal switcher, he gets every single one.
Picked his fronts up, put him in his pocket, and was like, yeah, I'm out. Yo, get him the fuck out of here. I gotta go back to this party that I'm having for myself.
He just clocked the dude and said,
And just like he worked that cat because everybody where I'm from trains, so like everybody that worked in the clubs I saw on the mats, and everybody did something. It's a military small town, so I mean, like back then, I don't know what it's like now, but like back then,
and that's one thing I think people notice. Like, you think we just like most of us just are just we just signed up on Indeed? No. It doesn't work that way, bro. Like we come from backgrounds that we had to, like, we either train or we
either come from hard background you had to fight, or you came from background where you learned and trained to fight.
Like,
at that bar, I can say it's a club called Access. Shout out Access. It doesn't exist anymore. That's why I'm shouting it out. Every night I worked, I got in at least one fight.
Oh shit!
Like we fought in the summertime. It was just like you just fighting every day.
Sounds like when I first started at a certain place.
I love how you kind of had that story, because I know we talked about this story last time. But we didn't get to put it out there.
Yeah.
Where a bartender kind of made you guys have to throw somebody out. Well, you had all the cake, which you're justified because that fool was being an asshole.
Yeah,
for what
try.
You're not supposed to smoke inside of a club. You're not supposed to smoke when you're inside. Even if we have an outside area to smoke, you know, you're not supposed to smoke in the business. Or at least that's our rule for sure. And this dude was smoking. You try to tell him no. And what did he do to you?
Was that the one on patio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he blow smoke or something?
Blow the smoke right at you. What'd you do? You grabbed this fool.
Oh, no, yeah.
And walked his ass out. And all of a sudden, I hear somebody behind me, where the fuck is security? And we look.
As I'm carrying
just carrying this dude. Feet off the ground. And all of a sudden, we're like, oh shit. I thought I was in trouble. I thought my uncle was like, so I went and grabbed the dude. We went this way. All of a sudden, all of his friends come out like, nah. And then our security are like in the mix. Well, that dude was Mexican. His friends were Mexican. So and most of our security were black at the time. Yeah. So it kind of became a black versus Mexican thing. So I kind of got lost in the scramble. And I'm like, hey, back up.
I wasn't working that day.
That's right.
I was there though.
You were there when you were up. And like people were just swinging.
I got squared up thinking I was one of the Mexicans.
But the thing is,
the whole fight broke out?
The whole fight broke out.
Oh, bro, I was so bad. I had to get out of there.
The funny thing,
you did. You did.
Yo, but you know what it is, bro. Like real rap though, you know I can't stay. You know,
but the thing is,
well, we're supposed to go in the back.
It became a giant ass rumble. I'm over here like trying to like break things up, and like I almost got swung on by some black dude who didn't realize I was with like our people.
I got surrounded by 3 of them.
But the thing is, these little, they're smaller than me.
Yeah.
I'm our smallest security guard back then, and they're smaller than me. They're trying to square up and swing on all of our dudes. Big ass mistake. They're getting tore up. And all of a sudden, I went to this one where 2 of our dudes were like handling one. I was like, yeah, you got him. Let me keep the piece. Let me break it down. This fool gets up while I broke.
Oh, the little Mexican.
Yeah,
and then he was like micro machines.
Then he turns around and tries to sucker punch one of our dudes. So I was like, nah, calm down. I was like, nah. I pieced him twice and put him to the ground and said, hey, stop it. And all of a sudden he looks up to me, what did I do?
Not the rolling the R's though.
What did I do?
Drop it.
So my manager got me off and like, okay, cool, it was done. So these fools were swinging at any black dude, and they swung at some random black dude that barely knew one of our security. He wasn't even with us.
And then all his boys jumped in.
No, it was him. He was a one-man wrecking crew. Went up, gave one, clack. This dude went up and back, smacked the planter. He was out for 30 minutes. The ambulance paramedics came. They were still working on his ass. Yeah. He knocked out 3 other dudes. They kind of came too. One of them was out cold. That's the one that tried to get me because he just sees a Mexican dude like walking up. He's like, what's up? I was like, hey, I'm with y'all.
His boys tried to get me. I was like, hey, bro. And then I remember, hey, where's he's one of us?
They were little, bro. They
Bro, it's
were
like you really had to have some type of macho-ness about you to think that you can come up and handle all these big ass dudes like that. Nah, they deserve what they got for that. For one, if you blow smoke in someone's face when they say you can't smoke somewhere, one of the most disrespectful things you can do.
So for clarity, that did happen. I do remember that. I apologize.
But he said once you guys got him, I went back in. I did my part.
To be fair, we
like,
know what happens if I stay outside too long with the person. That does not end up well. So and
they're the ones that started swinging. They started swinging on fools. It's like, dude,
I'm not allowed. So that was my happy compromise.
You know, like people don't realize how much. Like they think I bet you they hear all these stories that we talk about from other guards that worked everywhere. I was like, man, we see some crazy stuff in our life. I've been a part of some crazy.
You want to talk about? What about when sleep in the back when I was fighting with that dude?
I was working that
night.
I was
at work, and this homie, the homie
put a Call of Duty bang bang on that name right there.
So we at the bar, and I'm minding my own business, and it was a good night too. I was chilling, and it's like, yo, brother. We got to edit out all these names. My bad. My other friend, hey, and then the other homie was like,
A and B were.
He was like, but yo, brother, go see what's going on. I was like, what? He's like, all of a sudden, like, all these girls got mushed out of the way. So I come out behind the bar. This is one kind of brolic Mexican cat. And I was like, yo, my man, I was literally asking a question. Before I can do nothing, he pushed me and then swung on me. I was like, that wasn't smart. And then
it was not smart, bro.
He pushed me and then swung on me. I'm like, oh, we doing this.
I think he got
okay.
I think you choked him out the whole way out.
Oh, I beat the shit out of that dude.
you were carrying him.
Oh, bro, I beat the shit out of him.
You were giving him out.
But so I'm tussling with this dude, and it gets to the point where one of our bar backs come out. I see it. I'm getting better. And he's like, get off. I'm like, yo, just make sure the next person doesn't hit me. Because I can't do nothing with. I'm engaged with one-on-one. I can't mess with the second guy.
It's always that side friend.
It's always a side. I watch the crowd. I'll handle him. So he tried to hit me. I was like, oh, this is a wrap, bro. We're grappling at this point. So I'm handling this dude. I got a knee on his back, and he's on his face down now. I look up. I'm like, yo, where's security? I hear snoring in the back. I was like, hey.
This one wakes up like Frankenstein.
I'm like, yo, get him off. He's like, yo, he's bleeding everywhere. I was like, that sounds like a your problem thing. And then you should have stopped him.
And then he just wakes up, like, I'm gonna start hitting this dude too. He's not even knowing what happened, waking up from the dead, like the Undertaker's when music came on. He said, I'm going, I'm ready.
I'm like, I gotta go back to work now. You know what I'm saying? It's
him and the guy's friends. It didn't work out well for them at all.
Nah, bro, my bad. Yeah, to the point earlier.
Hey man, it was like my first altercation in years, let alone being a security guard. Hey, it was a good story.
I mean, everybody made it home. Everybody makes it home.
Yes, sir. That's the goal. Every time we.
That's the thing, man. I think that as long as you guys and everybody that works security, man, I think if you move with no ego, you move with a little bit of forgiveness, and you protect your squad, bro. That's really all it is to it, bro.
Legit, I've only been doing it for just over 2 years, and I've seen people come and go for just different reasons. A lot of times, it really is. It's either the self-control, whether it is your ability to not get messed up when you're working, or just your self-control or your ego when you're trying to deal with people. Your ego lets you just fly off the handle because people disrespected you. Now you did something that got you fired, or you think you're hot shit, so you want to act up or do things outside of your job description, and then all of a sudden you're gone. And then you really got to check that.
And then as you learn over time, you can't go in there thinking that people just have to demand you to respect you off the get. You have to give it too,
right?
Because you can't just go in there with your chest put out. Because then that's the people that go. Sometimes will be the person that is walking into your spot with their chest out, thinking, I'll find security. Yeah. We just had that just a couple of weeks ago.
I mean, I've seen it.
I find security. I find security. It's like, okay, then that you want a fucking cookie? I don't care.
But our manager keeps saying greet them in and greet them out. Make sure we try to create a warm environment. Because I've seen I've had days when I'm having a bad day. Yeah, you've walked up on those bad days, and you can tell that when I'm not being my normal happy-go-lucky self, there's a different aura when people come in because they have they don't have this warm, inviting feeling. Or the days that I'm not here and somebody else that doesn't want to be in the front, they kind of make it known. It's the way that people kind of react kind of starts from the front. So we got to check ourselves a lot of times too. Even if I'm having a bad day, I still got to put that game face on and give that type of hospitality that I try to do, because it's not easy. There'll be days when I'm just having the worst day. But you know what? I got to be on that game, because if not, my night's gonna get worse, and it might affect you guys.
Yeah,
if
it might be a trickle effect. Like we give them a bad aura with a bad energy when they come in, and they're gonna go to the next bartender they're unprofessional.
It just takes 2 strikes.
Yeah. There's been people that have thrown glass at you guys, or people just start acting with the people in the back by the bathrooms. And you know what? We could have contributed to that because we on the front didn't do our job as far as create a better environment.
Well, I think that's a little bit extreme. I think you guys do a really good job. I think most security does a good job. I think that it should be broken up into 2 groups though. I think it should be security, and I think it should be door guys. Because I think those are 2 different things. And just because you work security doesn't mean you're good on the door. I think you do a really good job, Mac. I think, Johnny, you do a good job too. I think Mac's just naturally more congenial.
Yeah,
I think you're more like me, where I'm just like, I don't want to be here, bro.
I've done my time.
I'm tired of all the bad jokes. I'm tired of the bad jokes. I'm tired of
many bad jokes.
Are you ready for the list? Are you ready for the list?
Let's start.
All right, the list goes.
I gotta tell you. I'll tell you each one.
Bad jokes. It goes. How much you bench press? It goes. Oh, you're a fighter. You fight, bro?
You look like you beat people up.
Yeah, you beat people up. What was that? What else is on the list? It's just all like the same.
This year, I've gotten the McLovin card 50 times. People pull out their little McLovin card from Superbad. That's what it's called?
Superbad.
Bro, give me the McLovin card. It's gone so fucking old, dude, for real. Like, and then people, or when they give me the real ID, they're like, oh, it's a fake one. Good one. Haven't heard that one. It's just constantly people trying to make bad jokes.
Even a nice mannered guy like you, because you're more passive.
You're super
like,
nice.
way than I have.
I've been hearing him out.
I did before you start working there. I did the door for 2 years. Imagine what I fucking heard and seen. Or fucking people try.
Yeah, you guys are lucky. I'm the door guy too. I ain't gonna lie, because I put up with a lot of stuff, and I'm very nice when it comes to like treating people out in the front. Because you guys can have way different people kind of giving you that hospitality.
You know, one thing too, I don't know when you work security, how many times do you look at ID and you know damn well that ain't the damn person, and they still try to fucking tell you.
It's dost thou protest too much? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it gets to the point where it's just like, yo, you're going off so much. I know this, Adrian. I don't even gotta look at this. You already started breaking.
You know what I do? I just tell the next guy that I'm working with at the door, look at this. Right. Why you look at this? Would you look at this?
You know what? This has happened twice. This happened twice this year, where somebody gives me an ID.
The pass back?
And you know the person.
And they give me the ID, and I know this person. We've had conversations. We've it's like, bro, why are you going to give somebody an ID to get into the club that you talk to me all the time? I know this person. This ain't you. Goodbye.
And then what you tell them, you just see the shoulders go.
Oh, I had a long conversation with one of these dudes that did it. I was like, don't you ever do that again.
Because I was 86.
Don't you, like, are we cool? Don't you ever do that again. I know that's your family. Don't ever do it again. And then the other girl, she ain't never been back. She ain't never been back.
Until she turned 21?
No, I'm saying the girl who gave her friend the ID. I was like, nah, she ain't never been back since, because she embarrassed herself that night though, because she was messed up.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason why she ain't come through.
Maybe.
Man, that'll be it.
And people don't remember that. Like, these are their party days and all this stuff. There's still people that are recording all this stuff. There's people that see all this stuff that aren't drunk as you, that aren't having a good time, that are at work. And they are trying to do their job. So, I mean, I think that you would think that if someone seen you in your bad moments, you'd be a little bit nicer to them the next time you saw them. But, I mean, that's not conventional wisdom.
There's some people that worked at a normal job that I've seen that I've had to escort out. I'm like, I just make jokes like, no more tequila. Because you say you didn't drink it. So next time it comes, like, hey, no tequila tonight, remember?
Sorry, buddy.
Even if I cross paths with them, like in like another building, like it's like, hey, I had to kick you out. And you said no more tequila.
That's the other side of getting shot out. People are like, oh yeah, I was there, man, I had a great time. But when they get kicked out, they don't be saying nothing to you. They be like, oh, see you in the streets.
Hey man, did I really act the fool that night? I was like, you know what? We'll get past it. Next time, just don't do it again.
Just do better. I had a buddy that worked when I worked at a strip club. Little short Puerto Rican badass dude, 3rd degree taekwondo, dude. And everybody used to always, like, he was probably like 5'2", 5'3", probably one of the best door guys I ever worked.
Little Joe Rogan?
Oh, bro, for sure,
just
bro. Ex-military, like, the whole 9 yards. Got the whole thing. But he's just a bubbly, like fun, super fast talking New York dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I would see this dude work, and he'd be fantastic. And big dudes would challenge him, and they'd be in his face, and he'd be like, "Oh, laugh it all off," and everything like that. Until. And I worked with him for about 2 or 3 years. He's still in the industry. I think he goes dabbles. But like I'd see him pick up grown men, big grown men. I'm talking about big, large men by any metric. Every single time they're out, wake them up, like help them up, like, hey buddy, just come back next week. Shit. Every single time. And it's so funny to me, and it's something I always hold near and dear in all these iterations. It's just like, he never did too much. He always stopped the threat. He always tried to de-escalate. And then sometimes, like, it would go a little bit further, and he would stop it. He would make sure everything was cool. I've seen people get knocked out by, just patrons fighting, and he gave them medical attention before, before EMS came or whatever, like, you stop the threat, pick him up. Hey, buddy, just come back next time. Just do better next time.
You got to be careful of that because you try to get some medical attention.
Well, I mean, just like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is, like I said, this is almost 20 years ago now at this point.
Yeah, things were different way back
in my day.
Yeah, it's a
hey, y'all don't realize, he might look good, but this gentleman's had some years under his belt.
Like you said, like you got people recording it now too. So now we're in the age of when you did security, it was way different from now. When we do it, because as soon as I notice anything even pops up, we are arguing with somebody, just tell them to come back another day. Yeah. People have their phones out.
It really,
and it's like that's be great. Like that can ruin our life if we make a wrong decision.
People be starting shit with me and then getting the phone out here. Oh, look at this bitch. Look at this, and trying to get me to react. And I just look in their camera and smile.
Because they get a little Instagram famous. Because they get a little credit because they send it to this little activity page that gets put a weekly recap. It makes our city look trashy as well.
I'm talking shit on those activities because I follow them. They're fun, but yes, it does look pretty bad.
It's not them. They're just reporting what happens.
Yeah.
There's nothing against them. They're just making it be known. Look how idiots you look. People driving trucks downtown, fucking going the wrong way during Christmas in the park. It makes our city look bad. No one wants to come out here.
Driving on railroad tracks.
It's wild.
A lot of crazy shit has been happening in our city in the last few months, man. It's crazy.
Lightweight OC sometimes, bro. Things be happening. I think that we're just super desensitized to because I remember I think it was something happened, some crazy shit happened. Two girls got in a fight. They're throwing glasses and stuff. And then literally I think 2 minutes after, everything got reset, everything got moved back, and everything was just business as usual. And someone's just like, "Is everything okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, what are you talking about?" I don't know.
The girl came try to come back in. Or their head cracked open. Remember? She got jumped outside again.
Oh, yeah. You were telling I wasn't there that night. You were telling me.
I was like, you need some medical attention. Your head is bleeding. She's like, "Oh, yeah." She fought these 10 girls.
Did she wink at you while she was bleeding?
Yeah. I was like, "You are crazy." So I like crazy. Oh, sorry, I didn't say name. Cut that out. Very bad. But he's like, "I like that crazy." I was like, "Yeah, that might be psycho killer crazy, man." She watches documentaries for sure. When wives kill. She fought a whole group of 10 girls and still got up and still wanted to fight again.
Hella squabbles.
She was fighting them all. It's like, how did you not knock this girl out cold? There's 10 of you.
She was wild, bro.
And then this dude some dude got hit with the glass by some random person that threw a glass, and then he got knocked out by somebody.
But it got resolved so quick. You know what I'm saying? And it was just kind of but we've seen it in the past. It's very few and far between now. But I mean, now it's just
I think it's we're just so it's immune to it. It happens, we'll be mad for a little bit, and then all right, let's get back to work.
You kind of you gotta keep some real thick skin and keep it pushing, because to be honest with you, it's one of the oldest bartending lessons. It's I try to be even. That way I don't go too far up to look like I'm coming too far down. I'm being polite. I'm giving product out. If you make a joke, I'll smile or try to go back to the best I can. You know what I'm saying? But I think that if you spaz on one, then you got 4 other people at the bar that sees it, and then you got 5 other confused not knowing what to do with you people.
Or people want to jump in and intervene
Or
into
people
that's
wanting to
not their
jump in.
business and don't even know what's going
Or
on.
people want to pull out phones and record
Because
you. not
that's just
knowing.
like something like if we're throwing somebody out and like somebody at a bottle service table starts like saying little like yeah, fuck that bitch, or oh yeah,
Bro,
kick that person.
starting extra
I'm like,
stuff,
I'm
dude.
like, shut the fuck up.
It's not your business. Go keep
I was
having a
"'Cause
good
you
time."
could go out next. I don't care.
Yeah, I think people just want that like knee jerk reaction. It's like all the people going up like grew up, lightweight on like just trash TV and constant examples of this is what's rewarded in society. So this is the behavior I'm going to emulate, and they take it to real life, and either they fuck around and find out, or they just realize that like that's just not. It's just not the business. It's like you're kind of trash. Like just be a good person, bro. It always wins.
Why do you want to ruin your night out?
Why do you want to ruin
Like,
your night out?
yeah.
Why are you paying to get in trouble?
Exactly. Like you literally just spent a bunch of money just to wind up bruised up in jail, feeling like crap the next day, not just because you drank.
that 10 second mistake can ruin your whole life.
It really, the first night I ever worked security, I worked security at this place called, it doesn't exist anymore either, Time Lounge in Norfolk. The guy that was working was training me, and he was there. His roommate comes in for his birthday. He gets sauced up. Someone grabs his roommate. So, of course, he defends his roommate. He's dragging him out by his neck from behind. He doesn't realize he's so strong, he chokes him out. So when he goes to throw him to the ground or throw him out of there, flap. And you know what that wet concrete, steak on concrete sounds like? And then he just started bleeding everywhere.
No,
and I was like, he got hustled out the back door. Everybody's trying to do their best to call 911. I don't even know if this dude's dead or not, bro. Like, I might have just watched a murder. Like, but like, you have to keep that under control. You got to keep your shit under control, bro. Like, that was my like first and like ultimate lesson on like when that happened to me first day. I was like, I'm never drinking while I'm on working security, and I'm not gonna let someone take me to the point where I forget that these aren't all mats up. Yeah. This is concrete, and these are metal, and this is a car, and like, these are real consequences. You take somebody down, a simple double leg, or a simple like, you jab somebody and they fall the wrong way, hit the head on the corner of a brick, and it's a wrap. And that's happened often. How many stories you know of that, Trent?
Yeah.
That shit happens, bro. I was working at a place, some chick was drunk. They let her, I was working security, they let her drink too much. She drank so much, she fell off the bar stool and hit her head on the ground. She died the next day.
Bro, this girl almost lost her life outside of SB21 because she was drunk. And when she fell, I see her fall. I'm running because it's just here's that little brick curb. Her hair was resting on the brick curb when she hit the ground. Like, it was literally centimeters. Bro, it terrified the crap out of me because you could just see her life was gonna end if she was just this much further. Like, she was just drunk, fucking drunk. Her friends are paying attention. She's wearing heels, and she was
losing her balance.
Whoosh. It was terrifying.
It's not worth it.
Because you see all this stuff. Like, what could happen is like people are lucky that shit don't go more south when like they fall down. They get into little fights because it can be just like that.
I think that's why people need to respect security. I mean, not to be like, oh, respect your authority, but like real rap, bro. Like, the reason why security is such dicks to you guys is because we've seen so much bad shit happen, bro. Like, I've seen like shit happen that's unexplainable, that shouldn't happen in any other medium, but it happens in this crazy confines of like where alcohol and ego and these thoughts and these dudes that are thugs and cool guys and all this stuff mixes up and chaos happens, bro.
Bro, I've been called every worst name in the book. I've been spit on. And like, bro, it's like, dude, like, it's never that serious. Never that serious, bro. Like, for real. Like, I've had our friends, our black friends, being called the N-word just to their face by people that should never be using that word. It's like, bro, like, you guys are just going above and beyond to get us to do something, and we're at a job. Like, we're the ones going to lose our job. It's just a job.
It's a job, bro. You sweat me over a job. I'm doing my job.
And I hate when people are like, oh, how much you make? What do you like? What do they pay you? It's like, bro, what does that matter? Like, this is what I'm doing to make some type of living, trying to make some type of supplemental cash. And you're over here just trying to flaunt and just trying to aggravate us to the 9th degree.
I think that's the other thing people don't realize, bro. Like, I'm not trying to, like, I don't think security's trying to go out of their way to, well, on average, there are those dudes out there.
Yeah, there's always
I think it's
those
like a 20,
outlandish
I think
ones.
it's like a 20 or 30% that security or bouncers or whatever that want to get in fights and want to cause fuck shit. But the majority of bouncers are working the job because they need a second job for whatever reason. Like everybody, you hustling for Christmas, you hustling to get ahead, you just living your life and you like extra money. But like, it's just that. It's just a job. I'm not doing this because like I get off on telling people like, dude, like you're not in a correspondence with what's allowed in a public place. Like,
bro, recently,
unreasonable.
So we have a dress code, and like dudes like to wear their button-up shirts with nothing underneath, button down to their belly button. I had a gentleman come up, not a gentleman, this dude comes up because he was not acting like a gentleman. Guy. He walks up, polite to me, sir, I need you to button it up one more time, just up to here, please. He looks at me,
Why?
Does it. He goes, he's in there for 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Starts coming out with it unbuttoned again. He in my face, this close to my face, goes like this. Look, right here. I was like, what the hell are you doing?
Just go.
And then he's pissed off because I made him like, no one's ever done that to me. That was so disrespectful. I'm like, because your chest is open is our dress code. Like, and he was mad pressed about it. But you also did something really, really stupid. You come up to do slightly shorter than you, all up in my face, right here by a brick area, like, you're just puffing your chest. You are doing like the most stupidest thing when you're trying to have an altercation or something. You don't get that close, but you really can't see what's going on.
But those are the ones.
And bro, like the way he came out to me, like if I didn't, like the way he came at me was aggressive. Like I would have been justified in just going like right underneath him.
But you know how it is, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've done this.
But not even that. It's like the ones causing the most trouble are the pussycats every single time. And the people that, you know what I'm saying, like those are the ones that cause the most problems, the pussies at the club. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll beat you. What? And they're walking
The
backwards.
loudest in the room is always the biggest bitch.
Every single time, bro.
If he wants to hear himself talk,
because they like the last the last guy I really got my hands on wound up coming back to the bar I worked at 2 days later, and we were talking big stuff. Like he was talking big stuff, I was talking big stuff. I said hello, and he didn't want to do anything. And then it got handled, and he was telling me what he was gonna do to me and where I was, because he was talking some old New York stuff. Like we were talking about some like gang stuff from like the 90s and shit.
Shit.
Yeah,
he went way back.
Yeah, he went way back because he didn't think anybody would be able to call his card in California. And, you know, and there's a motherfucker everywhere. Just mind your business.
I think I remember that dude you're talking about.
Yeah, that was the last one I really got a hold of, bro. Because like he was talking some real reckless like stuff that I actually like know for some like back in the day stuff. So I was like, that's interesting. That's not how that happened. He's like, well, if we were there, I would be doing this. I would be fucking you up. I'm like, oh, interesting. Let me come around there and listen to you closer.
I remember that one.
Like, I couldn't hear you.
You know, I'm on the inside bar. I can't hear you.
Like, and then it got popping. But like, I thought for sure that was just going to be an altercation between two shit talking adults. Next thing you know, on Sunday, I'm walking into work, and I see this dude talking to my manager. I'm like, that's funny. I thought you were such a thug. Now you talk about maybe calling the police and maybe doing this and maybe
Bro,
doing
how many
that?
times have we seen where some dudes instigating shit, doing the most, and then when one person loses their temper just a little bit, they straight up call the police.
Touch me, I'm a sue.
Yeah, like bro, like you started all of this, and then all of a sudden now calling the police, talking with the police outside the club for 2 hours.
Turn into Denzel and
Bro, hanging in the damn squad car and stuff, man.
God damn. Who do you think you're touching?
Man. That's a like shit. It's like
When I talk to my lawyer, I'm gonna own. It's gonna be called Don is P2. That's what it's gonna be. When I get done with you, motherfuckers, I'm gonna fucking.
you know what's the worst though, and I ask everybody that comes on here. I hate breaking up girl fights.
You know, you ready for the pro tip? Shout out John Tapper. I did research to figure this out.
I did hear this.
It's a little bit tough, but I'd be willing to help you guys out. If you have a cold, PSA, you ready for this? Pro tip, all dude staff breaking up a girl fight. You keep a cold rag in one of the wells, the nearest well to the entry point. So the point, you keep a cold rag. You take that, and when they start fighting, you put that shit on the back of the neck. They freeze up, bro. Like legit. It's a reaction, bro. It's a body reaction. You can't. It's just like it's the shock is enough to get them separated.
Oh crap!
I'm gonna be carrying a cold bucket.
Bro, I'm telling you, like keep a little
water.
just in case. But it's logistically, it's kind of like How do you pull it off? But that shit works
Tom,
though.
throw me that rag.
The cold one.
The coldest one you got.
Ice cold.
Throw it on like
Yeah, they freeze. I seen some cats do that shit. I'm like, what?
I wonder what the logistics of just dummy cold water on.
Oh, that'd be so epic, bro. But make sure she got a full face of makeup on, though,
bruh.
before you do it.
Should we
Go-go.
try to make the mascara come down?
Oh,
Bruh.
I'm gonna fucking chill. I hate this place.
I can't believe
There's so
you
many
put
beautiful
that
women that come into
such
SB2. There really is. But there'll be times where people come in that they just don't know how to do their makeup yet. They come up in there, and then by the end of the night, or they use that cheap shit by the end of the night, man.
So they start dancing
That
and
is not security
makeup.
related, but it's very true.
Very true. Very true. It's not a majority, but there are them ones.
It's the same as the baby deers and the T-Rexes.
Oh yeah, walking in.
Are you talking about like the neck color don't match your face color?
Right, right. You can't do here and have this strong jawline, and you got a two-tone.
Hey,
strong. Like someone like the Civil War.
It goes at the same time. You ever see some dudes the way they be dressing? Sometimes like you just go in your closet, grab anything, leather pants with a jean denim shirt.
Bro, I'm sorry. If you come out wearing sweats.
Don't
don't say they $400 sweats. You are not getting in for a $400 tab. You are not. If you're wearing clogs, Crocs, Uggs.
Oh man!
If you are coming out looking like you just Netflix and chilled, do not come out to any club.
Come on, man.
Do not.
Me?
You might have a
You know
bar
me,
or two that might let you in, and then you want to yell at me. Oh, these are $400 that I spent. These aren't sweatpants. They're joggers. Sweatpant material, drawstring, loungewear. Like, bro, like.
Are you doing logistics on the front door,
Bro? I have to have these conversations, and then they want to try to talk and discuss. I'm like, sir, miss, no matter what you say,
That sign says
this
otherwise.
this is the rule. I cannot let you in. I can't tell you how many times I had these conversations, and then I get yelled at by one of my managers. Get them out. What you want me to do? Start a fight? Like, I'm trying to get them out. Like, there's just so much I can do. But
can't get them out fast.
You gotta come out to outside dressed a little okay. Like you got to do some effort.
And like, why wouldn't you want to though, man? Like, I mean, honestly, like you trying to go to meet girls. Isn't that the reason why most single dudes go to bars? Because they're not going to dance and put their wallets in a circle and dance around it. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I used to just go out there and dance, but
you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, you love to dance. You know what I'm saying? But that's so bad.
You should have battled that dude the other day, man.
No, that's what keeps back in line. You be dancing instead of fucking people up. You're like, oh, you so lucky. I got this pop pocket in my life.
Before it puts me out, let me start crumping this shit out.
I don't even want to fight that dude. He crumbling on me, man. That's more intimidating than shit. He's about to the haka soon. He's not even Samoan.
You know how many times I get Mexican dudes getting mad at me thinking I'm Samoan? Like, oh, you racist. I'm like, what do you think I am? Just because my hair be up like that. I've gotten that hella times. Like, dude, if it's just the hair, you guys. Like, I don't look oos. People just acting up. They want to find ways for me to be wrong for denying them entry.
People be creating enemies too. Like they really are quick to like create a narrative. That's the amazing thing. And obviously it's the alcohol for sure. Mm-hmm. So like you get this alcohol in you, probably more of an amount than you used to taking in. Let's be real. Like if you go to a bar, you're probably going to drink more than you normally drink. So now you got all this liquid courage, all this alcohol, all these vibes, and you can be tossed and turned either way. And then you just create a narrative in your head, and then you create an enemy. It could be the boss that you had busting your dick all week, and you just see the security guard, and they just automatically turn into your boss, or the spouse that you got in an argument with, or
the girl that rejected you.
You know what I'm saying? Every single time, and I think that's like the most wildest thing that people don't ever really see. Like that's all. You're basically arguing with security because somebody fucked you earlier in the week, and it's amazing how often they do that shit, man. It's kind of like wow.
Like man, I don't know what you're going through in your personal life, but shit. I'm not the one that fucking got you fired or didn't give you a bonus.
Bro, you know what I saw a security do the other day? This dude was just losing his mind, just being the worst. Just like a worse human, like a bad customer, worst human being, just like, and dude was just like bucking, and the guy finally got had to take a breath, and the security was like, bro, you okay? What's wrong? And it was just such a funny but like real question at the same time. Like you gotta be a real dickhead to push past that into like that was wrong. But he like hit him with the what's wrong, and he was just like it kind of like froze him for a second. He was
What do you mean what's wrong?
Off balance. He's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, oh, you lost, bro.
Yeah. You can't argue. I asked you first.
Yeah,
I asked you in a calm manner. Like, what's wrong with you, man? Everything
like,
good?
yeah, what's going on?
Now, I know working nightlife kind of has taught me a lot of just different things. I'm glad I got into nightlife late in life. Like when, I used to promote an 18 Up club. Actually, we had a pretty successful promotion for a minute. Nice. That little 18 Up club. You used to go back there. Yeah. Club Miami back in the day. 5FE. What's up? But
I was on the 86 side though for a little bit. For getting a raw.
We had some good times. But like, so that was my first taste of nightlife type of stuff. You know, kind of like get my feet wet. And then I started in security. You know, last couple of years. So I've kind of learned just different things from being out there. But if you gave somebody advice, not just a bartender, not just a security guard, whatever, but just if you want to join the nightlife, community in general, like what would your advice to somebody? Just I want to be a security guard. I want to be a bartender.
Say fresh out of college, in college, trying to look for a new job just to make some money.
Thick skin, quickly forgiving, and ego death, bro.
Cannot take anything personal.
You can't I think that's like if I can't do it still, but I've gotten a lot better at it for sure. I think that like you can't have any ego, especially like defensive ego. Like you have like the defensive, like when you're gonna get attacked every single night you're at work, whether it be verbally, whether it be emotionally, whether it be accusatorily, like you're gonna get attacked. And you have to realize that these people are almost like surrogates. Like their like logical brain is locked up somewhere, and this party random brain is out to play. And that random brain is what causes all the bad decisions, the fights, the jealousies, and you're just in that environment to receive that energy. But like none of that's for you. It's like I said before, it's for the boss, it's for the spouse, it's for the guy that cut them off in traffic. You have to realize that. That's the first thing. And you have to realize that, like, no matter what, like, these are real consequences. Like, this is not Double Dragon. This ain't no fucking Call of Duty shit. Like I said,
you just age yourself.
I know, hey, that was my favorite though.
Hey, I still love the movie. That movie was dope.
But like, there's real consequences. So like, if you square off, like I've been in a dark alley with two dudes fighting them. Pause. I don't know. I wasn't sure. Hey. Producer.
Oh my god.
Dark alleys, huh?
You know what I'm saying? Just making sure y'all motherfuckers ain't.
Hey, and you from New York, no Diddy.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't get fucked up. He uptown Harlem nigga, bro. I ain't from there.
Hold me
from
down.
Queens, motherfucker. But you know what I'm saying? Like I've been in bad situations where we fighting, and you have to like keep yourself safe, but at the same time, if that shit goes somewhere, you have to know that there's potential that you're gonna go to jail. You're gonna go to something else. You could, you have to.
You're not just jeopardizing your paycheck. You're jeopardizing way more.
And this is your only life. This is not like a multiplayer game, bro. Once you mess around and you do something wrong, that follows you around. I threw this guy out. He was hitting on his old lady in the club. And that's zero tolerance for me. I don't give a fuck where I'm at. Shit. So he's hitting on his old lady, and it was during a comedy show. So I could have taken him out the back door, which I should have, but I didn't. I drug him through the whole restaurant. That's my fault. So I drug him through the restaurant, but I didn't rough him up, though. But I definitely dragged him through the whole restaurant and embarrassed him a little bit. Throw him out. He was drunk, obviously. He comes back like 3 weeks later, and I was just finished cleaning at the bar, and I wasn't paying attention. I turned around, and he was right there in my face. And I was just like, I hope this dude doesn't shoot me in the face. I thought for sure this dude was gonna come back and shoot me. And he like stopped me. He's like, I was like, yeah, I know who you are. He was like, you remember? I was like, yeah, I remember. He was like, was I really that bad, bro? I was like, yo, you hitting on your old lady, bro. Like, you can say that shit for the crib, but like, you don't do that shit in front of me, man. And he's like, yo, my bad. And he left. And I literally I could be a badass all I want to, but he had to drop on me, bro. Like if he could have came up to me and stabbed me, he could have came up and shot me. I'm glad that I didn't rough him up or take it too far, because then he might have been retaliatory.
That's one thing that always crosses my mind. We're sitting ducks. They know where we're at.
Bro, like legit, like I'm constantly moving how I'm standing.
You should.
Because that is like, I'm focused on, because I have to scan people the IDs, but I also have to check the line. I have to be and then we have people coming from the back. We have people coming from the front. If you ever have an altercation with somebody, I don't recognize everybody I had a confrontation with. Like Zombie, I couldn't remember his face right now. Little Mexican dude. I couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
Yeah.
Like the thing, like
so many
and all the people who have made threats to me, I can't necessarily remember. So like I might be saying it's somebody who just had a bad day, remember something. I'm saying it right here. Like you don't know. So like I'm constantly looking over my shoulder. Like I love what I do. I love this. It's fun. It's something extra for me. But it's like there's always that level of here. Like something I'm not like, I'm trying to step away sometime soon. But I'm not, it is dangerous. It's terrifying.
But it's also in the way you handle your situations.
Yes.
Though. Like honestly, I think I've actually physically struck, like slapped probably like 4 people. I punched one person. And that's over like been in the industry for 20 years. I'll grapple you all day. You're gonna get dropped on your head for sure. But like, I'm not that extra roughing up joint. People would be bitter, man, and they come back.
Yeah, I'm glad the 2 times anything physical happened, because that's me. I've always had like anger issues growing up, so that's why I try to be the way I am, because I've had those issues. I've had those times where like I've gone overboard just with friends in the studio or whatever. So like I've always been afraid, what am I gonna do? So I've been able to stop myself, especially the time I got spit in the face. When I got spit in the face, I wasn't sure if I was gonna stop, and like I was able to pull myself back and just do just the bare minimum enough to say, hey, stop, stop before you do get messed up.
Yeah.
Because it's not you're just terrified of others. Like we might do something. Again, our lives are on the line, not just us getting hurt, but us doing something that costs us our freedom, costs us our ability to work again.
Even worse, causes problems for one of your brothers on the security team.
Yeah, well,
when
like
you're not around.
Yes.
Honestly, like how many times there's been something going on in any place you worked at, where something's going on and then you've been off and you come back the next day and they looking for the homie that was there. That you know what I'm saying? Like
that's happened.
So your actions are gonna affect your team too, man.
Oh, you work there? That's your boy. You're riding with him. All right, you too. You get it too, then. All right, but you never know when that person is gonna not bluff anymore and they actually come and actually do what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because you might be talking out your ass right now. You're drunk, but sometimes it might be somebody that really gets embarrassed in front of their homies, their girl, and they might come back and say, "Man, you fucked my life up. My girl left me because I got acted a fool, got my ass beat by you guys. Guess what? I lost everything. I love that girl. Now I'm gonna take something from you. I'm gonna take your life." And guess what? They lost their life too because they get locked up for shooting you or stabbing you.
You gotta be careful.
You gotta be careful. You always gotta have that on. It sucks to think in that mindset, but it's a mindset that we gotta have in our back of our heads too.
It's what keeps you guys safe, man. That's your best weapon is a little bit of fear of what your capabilities are. If you stay mindful and stay a little bit fearful of it, that's what's gonna keep you guys forever safe.
Man, well, that's a deep note. I think that's what we're going to end today. I really appreciate you stepping through. We did this once before, just kind of get our feet wet, just kind of figure out what we're doing. But to have this conversation with you, man, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, y'all, this has been the ID Please podcast. Thank you for listening, like, and subscribe. I'm Mac.
This is JP. Don't forget to tune into our other shows that we got on there too.
2 Coin TV, y'all.
Let's go.
He's got one as well. It's fire, so check us out.
But Don, come holler at me.